Hello everyone, my name is Professor Bruce Guevara. I'm the head instructor and owner of B1 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I just wanted to make a quick intro video, kind of sharing a little bit about myself as well as a little bit about the academy for you viewers out there. So starting off with myself, I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going on 12 years now. And my main emphasis to kind of get me started, that got me involved, was that I was looking for something to keep me in shape once I graduated high school. Um, because after high school, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of different sports out there available, and I wanted something that would be challenging. It would be something different that I feel like I could gain a lot from, and that's exactly what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu did for me, and that's why I stuck with it. Not only was I getting into the best shape of my life, but I was also being able to do things that previously I had only seen in movies and in TV shows and whatnot. So it kind of gave me that motivation to stick with it. Not too long after that, I started competing, which got me even more hooked. But that, at first, that's what jiu-jitsu was to me, was just, a great form of fitness, and also, the competitions and that sort of lifestyle kind of kept me going. But the more I kind of got into it, I started to learn that, Brazilian jiu-jitsu was more than just competition and fitness. I met a lot of cool people, along the way, and a lot of people that actually inspired me to do a lot of what we're doing now as far as growing the program and in the direction that it's taking. Currently I'm a black belt under Christian Uflacker, third degree black belt under Master Carlos Gracie Jr. So he's been a great motivator himself, and a huge influence, in me as a student of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but as well as my academy here. He's helped me kind of put together, the program that we have today. That's helped, reach out to many different, types of people that come into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or that come into our academy, looking to achieve, different types of results. But along the way, one thing that's kind of kept us together is that even though we all kind of search different paths, we're still on that same wavelength. We're still on that same type of mentality, and that's what keeps everything fun and energetic. So past that, even now with the academy, I still try to stay fairly active in the competition circuit. I try to compete at least 4 times a year. And the reason that I do that is because I feel, it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me motivated, but it also it helps me continue to grow my understanding of different jiu-jitsu techniques, skill set, strategies, which in turn makes me a better instructor, since I'm able to share that skills and that new knowledge base with my students. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu still, it's still pretty much in its infancy, that there's still the rules change from year to year. The different type of formats, from one tournament to another, and I like to stay up to date with that. I like to be able to answer those questions confidently when my students bring them up to me. But past that, I mean, the jiu-jitsu lifestyle is something that we really take in here. I get a lot of pride from having somebody who's never been active physically before, who maybe is going through a little bit of a rough patch in life, or has been going through it for a while now, and hasn't really found a solution, or just maybe needs a buddy to kind of guide him along the way. And that's what we do here. That's my short-term goal, is just to keep growing our program in that direction, helping people, kind of letting people know that, yeah, jiu-jitsu is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're somebody who's still fairly young and athletic, or somebody who's maybe a little bit older but still wants to stay active, still wants to learn something new, make new friends, learn, be a little bit more disciplined, maybe with physical fitness, or even the nutrition part of it, which can sometimes be the most difficult part. But yeah, just keep growing the program here. Uh, kind of showing new people what jiu-jitsu can do for you, and seeing everybody grow, and as a team, as a family unit. It's something that that keeps me showing up every day. Long-term goals for our school here, obviously, just keep seeing people's progression, but growing the school, finding new ways of teaching, even the techniques that I teach now. Like I said, jiu-jitsu keeps growing. The way that I teach a simple day one fundamental sweep today is going to be completely, for the most part, different in a few years from now, just because of the different defenses and everything that people and different individuals come up with to defend those certain skill sets. So I think that kind of leads me into our last point here. Why you should train at B1 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think the one thing that gravitates people here the most is going to be the atmosphere. I think every academy has a different type of atmosphere and whatnot, but here it's very homely, very friendly. I mean, I feel it every time that I come in here, especially when my students come in here, have it be the youth or my adult group. I feel very comfortable here, and my students tell me the same thing, and that's what keeps them motivated and keeps them coming in. Because the more students that we have in the class, it's more energy, and I think it's more exciting all around for everybody. I like the small classes as well, but it's a nice atmosphere. Again, having lively mats is what I like to call them. And everybody gets better training that way, I feel. After the class, I always have a good group of students here who stick around, ask each other questions, work on different techniques, or just talk about their day. And I think that's essentially what makes jiu-jitsu beautiful, and makes it what it is, and where it's going, in the path that it's going today. But past that, I mean, we take a lot of pride here in the well-being of the academy. It's very very nitpicky about this, but it's we do our best to keep it as clean as possible. Especially here with the Midwest weather that we've been having. Plenty of snow here the past couple days, and we here with our janitorial staff, we stay very up to par with everything, making sure that that we have that we sanitize the academy every evening, but everything up to the entrance, keeping it salt free, keeping the academy dry, keeping everything nice up to par, like anybody would expect to keep it in their own home, or even better, just to kind of gauge the type of modern feel and look that we have here. I think cleanliness is a very important key feature, and it's something that I really stress here, to make sure that it gets accomplished day in and day out. Other than that, we take students as young as 3 years old, and I know for the most part, a lot of different even a lot of different sports don't take youngsters that young, because they feel it's very challenging. But I enjoy that challenge. Some of the biggest progress that I've seen here, for as far as a discipline standpoint, is with our young crowd. Our 3 to 5 year old youth group here. They do, they week in and week out, you can really see that big progress as far as how they interact with each other as peers, as well as how they interact with the parents, with myself and my assistant instructors. And I think sometimes that kind of blows the parents away, saying, hey, how much we're able to accomplish with children so small. So it's one of our fastest growing programs here, I believe, and it's very you know, I take a lot of pride in it. I wouldn't say it's one of my most, you know, fun classes, just because, you know, there's a lot of character in each of our students, which is awesome. And you know, and we all, you know, they all have a little, you know, they all have their place here on the mat, and you know, they enjoy themselves as much as we enjoy having them here. And you know, the parents here's, you know, watching and supporting, always great. And that's what, you know, that's what kind of brings us all together. So you know, even if some of our parents might not train or whatnot, you know, they still feel like they're part of something big here, you know, and they see it directly through their children. And past that, you know, we do our regular youth class here, which is my 6 to 12-year-olds. And you know, that class is phenomenal too. It's growing very rapidly. Recently we started doing our parent and youth student program, which right away was a, in my opinion, I think was a great success. You know, everybody left that class with a big smile on their face. You know, what better way to bond with your child than being able to share, you know, something as awesome as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with them. You know, going over the techniques that we would go over in our youth program, which, you know, sometimes may seem not that difficult, but hey, you know, it's a completely different story once you're in there and getting you know, implementing those techniques. But it's just like anything else. It's just a challenge, and you know, once you try it, you know, it becomes easier and easier. You know, I tell people that the toughest day is day one, just like in anything else, you know, in any other sport or weightlifting or whatever endeavor that you might do. So that's just a little bit about us here, guys. I don't want to ramble on too much longer. You know, I'm going to keep these ideas for the next little portions that I do. So, you know, please subscribe to our channel. I know you guys hear that often, but subscribe to it just so you guys can get some updates, you know, as far as what's going on here at the Academy, new programs that we add, you know, any schedule changes, any new type of formats. You know, I'm going to try to leave them on the YouTube page to get you know, to get it out to more people and being able to share with our family and friends so they can kind of see, you know, what we're doing here at the Academy, and give them a little bit more insight on what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, self-defense, and all that fun stuff is. All right, guys. So enjoy the rest of your week, and you know, let's get training hard. All right, thank you.